Hey guys, how are you all? I'm so excited to be here today. Man, there's a lot of information that I want to share with you, but I'm going to give it to you in bite-sized pieces. So, are you currently experiencing a tremendous loss in your business? So, this is for those who are in business, and maybe you're experiencing loss and don't know how to stop that, right? Stop the leaks. Or maybe you're having a hard time finding regular paying customers for your business, and there's join, join the rest of everybody. There's a lot of people who are having those issues right now, but I'm going to share with you some secrets, right, that will help you overcome the hurdles of having limited access to customers, help you get more regular paying customers, but also to help you overcome any loss that you're currently experiencing in your business. So recently, I've been getting this one common question from small business owners. Okay, and this question is, okay, yeah, Carwana, I see that, you talk about government contracts for small business, especially for women and minority owned small business. You share this information all the time, but the question is the government giving out contracts right now? Like, is the government qualifying businesses to do business with them right now? And I really thought that was a great question. And in this video, I'm going to answer that for you today. Okay. I'm Carwana D. I'm a certified business coach, the author of The $1 Trillion Secret to Government Contracts, because absolutely there are trillions and trillions of dollars in contracting opportunities, and a percentage of those opportunities have to go to small business owners. And so that's why I coined the phrase $1 Trillion Secret. Okay. I teach professional service-based small business owners how to grow their business with government contracts so that they can have consistent, sustainable income for their business, are able to build capacity, quickly scale to millions of or even billions of dollars, and to just grow their business so they can have that stability, right? Eventually to become the employers of tomorrow. And so that's really what this is all about. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you top 5 businesses that are getting approved for government contracts right now, like today, right now, during this time, during the pandemic. And this is from people that I actually know that are landing government contracts right now. So I can say, if you have this type of business, this is what the government is actually funding right now. And then there's going to be some others, of course, but I'm going to share with you the top 5 that I actually see that's going on right now. So if you stay to the end, I'm actually going to have a really amazing giveaway that my team and I have put together for you small business owners. So here are the top 5 businesses that are actually killing the game right now, landing contracts. And we're talking contracts from $1 million to, billions of dollars, and even something that's a little bit more attainable, that sounds more realistic for someone who's just getting started. $50,000, $70,000, $80,000 contracts, and definitely you can be one of those businesses, right, by just getting in positioning. Okay, so number 1, right? So one of the top business types that are getting contracts right now, that the government is funding right now, is janitorial cleaning services, right? And it could be anything from janitorial cleaning services or products or services that you can provide in response to COVID, right? Whether it's in response to COVID or not, janitorial services is one of the most funded businesses right now that's getting contracts right now. But as a response to COVID, the government has spent between March, kind of like when the pandemic really kind of first hit, between March and June, right? So that's April, so that's like 3 months. That's 90 days. In that 90-day period, the government spent $1.3 trillion on janitorial cleaning services or supplies or anything that's related to COVID, right? And so you just kind of got to get in where you fit in. So if you're a supplier, you provide supplies or janitorial cleaning, or you have your own some type of sanitizing products or sanitization, or hand sanitizers or any of that stuff, right? Or masks, like all of that is included in this $1.3 trillion budget. Even if you have like a basically like a disease control or anything with COVID testing or test kits or whatever, anyway, you could be a part of that if this is something that you do. Okay, so the second thing on my list, which is the second type of business that the government is funding right now, you can get a contract for right now if you're in this space: educational services. Okay, now with COVID, the pandemic, the shelter in place, education is a huge one because there's, of course, distance learning. Kids are doing homeschooling, right? And so there's going to be this huge gap of accessibility, this huge gap of kids that have other additional needs, right? Because now you're working from home. You're doing this school work from home, and so anything in the educational space, whether it's tutoring services, like tutorial services. That's the word I was looking for. So whether it's tutorial services or educational supplies or anything that has to do with educating people right now, you can actually get a contract for. In fact, if you have a service that can help close the gap to accessibility, especially for urban kids in underserved communities who may not have that access, who may need a little bit more support, you can actually kill the game right now in that space. Also, like, I want to say, one of my clients recently landed, like, not one, not two, but 3 contracts in the educational space, okay, for the services that she provides in that space. So number 3 on my list is construction trades. Anything in the construction trades, and we're talking about whether you're building, whether you're an architect, whether you're an engineer doing roofing, electrical, painting, carpentry, carpet, anything that has to do with construction trades. And that could be like construction cleanup, and which also falls under janitorial, construction cleanup as well, power washing, all of that stuff in the construction trade, because construction is deemed a essential service right now. And so most of those construction projects is actually funded by the government, believe it or not, whether it's a state level or funding, or a city level funded project, or sometimes it's a mix between state, city, and federal. But definitely, if you do anything in the construction trades, or have anything to offer in that space, then definitely those are the contracts. Those are the businesses that are getting contracts right now. In fact, the businesses that you see that are closing their doors are the businesses that are not doing government contracts. So if you are doing any type of government contracts, then right now you're a very lucky business, because the government is paying, and they pay big, and they pay good, and they pay very well. So definitely, if you're one of those businesses that are surviving, or any business that's really still surviving or thriving or even growing during this pandemic, chances are they're doing some type of contracting, whether it's a government contract or a corporate contract, but they're doing some type of contracting, right? Okay, so number 4 on my list is anything in the communication space. So whether that be media buy, which means that your company provides, like, access to billboards, or access to commercial space, TV commercial space, or radio spots, or anything that has to do with that. That's all considered media buy, right? Public relations, right? PR, marketing, anything that has to do with communications. And sometimes communications entails components that you can serve, like if you're a photographer, or if you're a web designer, or if you do video production or editing, or copywriting, or any of that stuff that all falls in the communication space. And you can actually get subcontracts right now. So these are all things that are happening right now. In fact, my business, my media company, actually falls in the communication space. And so definitely, I can attest to, I am still working, and doing government contracts right now under this particular area. Okay, so the 5th area where you can get a contract right now, and the government is funding right now and qualifying businesses right now under, is security guard services. Okay, and I know this because one of my clients, or a good friend of mine, colleague, who just recently landed a major government contract during this pandemic. Okay, so you can't tell me that the pandemic is an excuse for failing in business. The pandemic is something that happened, and it happened to a lot of people, but it doesn't stop a small business owner from really growing or thriving, right? Because it's just really, you just have to find a way to pivot or find a way to incorporate or do business different, right? So everyone is just kind of forced right now to do business different. And I've been talking about government contracts for several years, even before the pandemic. But this right here now, is never too late to get started. This is really a fail-proof way of really having a consistent, sustainable income, building a business, growing and thriving, and just kind of like, just existing, especially as a woman-owned business or a minority-owned business right now. If you don't have a government contract, I'm just saying, I just shared with you the top 5 areas that I know for certain that the government is qualifying businesses for right now. You can actually figure out a way to position yourself, and it's all about positioning yourself to become a qualified government contractor. And there's some simple steps. And so if you stay to the end, basically my team is going to get you connected, because we have some amazing things that we're going to share that will help you pre-qualify your business for government contracts. Okay, and we're going to help you with that through that process. Okay. So just to kind of recap, the 5 areas that the government I know is funding right now or qualifying businesses for contracting opportunities right now includes: number 1, janitorial cleaning services or anything in that space; educational services, number 2; number 3, anything that serves the construction trades; number 4, anything in communications; and number 5, anything in security services, right? In that area. So if your business falls in one or more of those types of areas, and if you're interested in knowing if your business can qualify for government contracts, let me know in the chat. Okay, I'm going to give you free access to my free upcoming 5-day challenge, where I will personally help you get pre-qualified to do business with the government. Okay, it's a process, right? It's a process, and definitely it's something that I know like the back of my hand, and I'm going to help you, right? But you have to let me know in the chat if your business falls in any of these areas. And if not, if you still want to know if you can get pre-qualified for government contracts anyway, just let me know, regardless of what type of business that you have. One of the biggest challenges small businesses have is accountability. So in my free 5-day challenge, you will have access to me personally, and I will help you personally get pre-qualified for government contracts. Now, this 5-day challenge holds lots of value. I do have clients that actually pay big money to get pre-qualified for this piece of information that I'm going to share with you alone, just for that little piece, right? And you get to get this for free, and you get to get me to help you through the process for free, right? So all you have to do is show up and implement what you're going to learn. And if this is something that you want access to, comment in the chat, and one of my team members will make sure to get you registered for this free event. And that's it for today. So I hope that this was educational and helpful for you, and enlightening, because my goal is to reach and help empower women and minority small business owners with how you can grow your business with government contracts. It is a real thing. I want people to wake up. Some businesses are really waking up, and they're realizing that this has been the biggest kept secret. They realize that they've been sleeping for a long time. They realize that this is a top paying customer, and it only makes sense to do business with top paying customers that are doing business with small business owners, regardless of what's going on in the world. So thank you so much for watching. It's been a joy. I look forward to connecting with you and helping you through getting the pre-qualified things out of the way, so that you can become a pre-qualified government contractor for your business, so that you too can grow consistent, sustainable income. Build a fail-proof business model by landing this top-paying customer, and just secure the bag. That's really what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's about securing the bag, right? If we're in business to make money, here's a great way to guaranteed make money, right? So let's do this together. All right, so you all have a wonderful day. Have a safe weekend. Be safe out there, and I'll talk to you all next time. Thank you. And you're welcome, Jamie. Secure the bag.